This is 21 Questions. It's a trivia podcast. My name is Mike. I'm really glad you're here. Before we start, can I just quietly say that I got an email just before, and this show is top 12 in Uganda in the games category. That's right. I have Ugandan listeners. Hello, Ugandan listeners. I love that you're here. Let's go. Question 1. Walk the dog and around the world are tricks that are performed with which children's toy? That's a yo-yo. Question 2. Is Amity Island, as in the setting for the movie Jaws, a real or fictional town? Amity Island in Jaws is a fictional town, but there is an Amity Point on Stradbroke Island, which is an island not too far from where I am in Queensland. Question 3. Which herb does tabbouleh mainly consist of? Bit of tabbouleh on a kebab, that's mostly parsley. Question 4 is always a true or false. True or false? There are only 4 words in the English language which end in the letters D-O-U-S. Is that true? Is that false? I know what you're thinking. What a tremendous question. It could also be horrendous or stupendous or even hazardous. That's allegedly true. I had read somewhere that was a myth. I went looking for it. Apparently it's true. Tremendous, horrendous, stupendous and hazardous are the only 4 words in the English language, allegedly, that end with O-U-S. I'm not convinced, but I was comfortable enough to give it a try. If you have a different opinion, let me know. Oh, that reminds me. If you have sent an email to mike@triviatribe.com.au, there's a very good chance I haven't got it. My IT monkeys are still working it through. So if you have sent me an email to that address, please send it via the Facebook page, 21 Questions by Trivia Tribe on Facebook. We'll talk more about that at the end. For now, though, question 5, what is the common collective noun for dolphins? Like if you saw a group of dolphins, what would you go, hey, look, there's a troop of dolphins, there's a pride of dolphins. No, you would say there's a pod of dolphins. Sometimes you could say a school of dolphins, and some people even argue that team is fair enough too for dolphins. Question 6, which player became the youngest male winner ever of Wimbledon when he won the singles title way back in 1985? That's Boris Becker. Remember him? I think he was 17 at the time. He won Wimbledon. Then he had a checkered life. He's been to prison, I think at least once, for tax evasion and other related things. Good on you, Boris. Question 7, which comedian known for his late-night TV work was also once a writer and producer on The Simpsons? I better give you multiple choice for this one. Is it David Letterman? Is it Jimmy Kimmel? Is it Conan O'Brien? It's Conan O'Brien. Now, Conan O'Brien also has a podcast called Conan O'Brien Wants a Friend or Needs a Friend or something like that. And my mate Matt DeGoldie, who's a circus clown, is a guest on that show. Check that out, that podcast. Question 7, done. After question 7, we do the first clues for the Who Am I? Who am I? I was born in New Orleans in 1941 and I was christened Howard, which was my father's name. The issue is I was a girl, so I hated that name and I renamed myself Anne in the 1st grade. I married my high school sweetheart, a poet, and we moved out to San Francisco together while I studied creative writing. My daughter died tragically of leukemia when she was only 5 years old, and I poured my grief straight into a short story that I wrote in just 5 weeks. That story eventually became my first novel, which in turn eventually was turned into a movie that Brad Pitt was just one of the big names in. Do you know who that is yet? More clues are coming up after question 14. Fair to say that Who Am I is probably not as straightforward as we usually do here. For now, though, question 8. Which acid is found in lemons, oranges and limes? That's citric acid. Question 9. Name the 2 singers of the 1976 song Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Do you remember this? Don't go breaking my heart. And then the girl goes, I couldn't if I tried. And the guy, oh honey, if I get restless, girl, baby, you're not that kind. Bum, 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 bum. Don't go breaking my heart. Anyway, Surely you've had enough thinking time. There are people in their cars right now going, for the love of God, stop it. Anyway, it was Elton John and Kiki D. Good-o. Question 10. In the children's story Bambi, is the skunk's name Flower or Thumper? The skunk's name is Flower. Allegedly, Bambi met the skunk while it was in a flower bed and she mistook it for a flower. Yeah, because I make that mistake all the time. Oh, look, dear, I bought you a bouquet of flowers. That's a dozen skunks, champ. Oh, silly mistake, that's on me. Really? Anyway, children's literature, it's not supposed to make sense. Question 11 is another true or false, and it's a player question. It's from Kel. I don't know if Kel's a boy or a girl, but good on you, Kel, because I know both. I know a boy Kel and a girl Kel. Anyway, question 11, true or false from Kel. True or false, a miller is a move in trampolining. That's allegedly true. Apparently, miller is a move in trampolining. Thank you, Kel. Please give me more details about who you are. And that goes for all of you. If you contact me with a player question, and I would love you to do that, but if you do, can you just tell me where you're from? Something, even if your name is ambiguous, you know, Kel boy or Kel girl, Kel undecided, that's fine too. Just let's make it a conversation, people. Let's be friends. Question 12, as it happens, is another player question. Graham asks, which country's rugby union team is known as the Pumas? The Pumas are from Argentina. Graham also said in his email, see, this is better, bit of conversation from Graham. I like it. Kel, I hope you're paying attention. Graham also said in his email, he likes the podcast, but he would like more sports questions. Noted, Graham. I'll see what I can do about it, mostly because you took the time to engage a little bit with your email, not like Kel, who is dead to me. Question 13. Question 13. Which word that starts with C is an agreement to perform together an illegal, wrongful, or subversive act? Sometimes it's placed together with the word theory. It's conspiracy. Ooh, dreadful. Question 14. Which four-letter word can follow each of the following words? French, fog, shoe. Giving you some extra thinking time, which four-letter word can go after French, fog, and shoe? Are you thinking horn, French horn, fog horn, shoe horn? Exciting. All right. More clues now for the Who Am I. If you remember, it's the woman named Anne who became a famous author after her daughter tragically passed away very young. Who Am I? That debut novel I mentioned, it was published in 1976 and it launched one of the most successful vampire franchises in publishing history, spawning sequels like The Vampire Lestat and The Queen of the Damned. And that Brad Pitt movie I mentioned earlier also starred Tom Cruise and a young Kirsten Dunst whose character was inspired by my daughter and her early passing, and that was called Interview with the Vampire. Now, is that getting easier? I know a lot of people would have seen that particular movie, and if you haven't, it's well worth a watch. Anyway, if you haven't worked out who the Anne is, we'll do some more clues after question 20. For now, though, question 15. Which musical, first performed in 1970 and based on a Bible story, features an Egyptian pharaoh who was based on Elvis? That's Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I got to play that role one time. Fun musical all round, actually. Worth a look. Question 16. Which Z word is the scraping or cutting of a citrus fruit skin or peel? That's zest. Question 17. Which 80-year-old country music star has a theme park named after themselves in Knoxville, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee? I love that there's a place called Pigeon Forge. That's Dolly Parton. The theme park is called Dolly World. Question 18 is another player question, and it's from Joy, and I have to apologise to Joy because she sent me this ages ago and I missed it. And I have emailed Joy to apologise and say, look, thank you so much for sending the question in. It's coming up. Here it is now. True or false? In 1968, a band called Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch, I'm not even kidding, that's the name of the band, Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch, had a song called The Legend of Xanadu. Is that true? Is that false? Very clearly true. I can't make that up. I've never heard of Davey, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch, and I can't believe a band with a name like that didn't kick on. Question 19 is always a still alive or not so much in this podcast. Today, Matt LeBlanc, star of Friends. Is Matt LeBlanc still alive or not so much? Now, if you know your friends well, that's very easy and you will see what I'm trying to do there. It was actually the other Matt, Matthew Perry, that passed away in 2023. Matt LeBlanc is still alive. He's actually working on a new show at the moment that he's also executive producing, and he plays a washed-up detective, I think. It's in development, as they say. Question 20 is always a music question, and today it is, what number completes the band names Dave Clark and Ben Folds? That's 5. Ben Folds 5, curiously, was a trio, but it's got the number 5 in their name. Dave Clark 5, Ben Folds 5. Final clues now for the Who Am I. If you remember, it was the author of Interview with the Vampire. Her first name was Anne. I think you'll know who it is. And if you don't know, I don't know how to make you think of it. I guess I could say Oriental staple food for her last name. See if you get it from that. Anyway, I'll just press on. Who am I? In addition to my vampire novels, I wrote historical fiction, erotic novels, and the Christ the Lord series of novels. That's quite a mixture. I passed away in 2021. My first name is Anne. My second name starts with R and has 4 letters. My second name starts with R and has 4 letters and finishes with ice and starts with R. Did we get Anne Rice? I really shouldn't have to work this hard, people. Anne Rice. Did we get it? Right. How'd you go with that set of questions? I would love for you to let me know how you went with it. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. Please feel free to leave a comment with your score on there. I'd really appreciate that. Or whatever app you're listening to the podcast on, if you're doing that the old-fashioned way, just audio only. I would love it if you could comment your score. And while you're there, why don't you just click a little happy review number, like a big number of stars. Like if there's 80 stars you can give the show, whether you agree with me or not, that'd just be great. That'd be a nice thing to do. I'm sitting here in a little studio just hammering them out, and it'd be nice if you went, oh yeah, look, he's not very good, but he's having a crack. I really do enjoy bringing this podcast to you. It comes out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Oh, let me just say again, if you've been emailing me, there's a very good chance I have not got your email. I'm so embarrassed about this. Could you try again, please? I need your questions because episode 100 is coming up. This is episode 86, I think. And by the time you see 93, 94, I'm recording or getting ready to record 100. So I need you to send me trivia questions to populate that show. If you're new to the podcast, at the 50th episode, I did an entire episode submitted by the listeners of the show. Going to do the same thing for 100 and probably at 150 and 200, all the way up to 10,000 episodes. And at 10,000 episodes, I'm retiring. That's it. But until then, I'm yours 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Send me your trivia questions, please. That would be 21 Questions by Trivia Tribe on Facebook. That was a jumbled mess and a lot of information, and there's a very good chance if you're listening to this still, you're the only one that got this far, and I love you for that. Come back in a couple of days and we'll do it all again, have another crack at it. I've been Mike van Acker. I love you. Catch you next time.